So the first thing that's probably making you feel like you're on an island by yourself. Your perspectives and emotional intelligence isn't baseline. So a lot of times when we think about the way we feel, perspectives that we may have on topics, or the way conversations flow when we're in a room, a lot of times you're going to be around people that just think from a one layer approach. If they're thinking about, what it is to be successful, hey, you just got to go to college and then get a job and you're successful. You got to be able to have a kids or a family at this particular point in your life. You got to be able to do this or whatever. And you'll notice, especially from elders, and we can't fully take away from them because some of those individuals are only going to know what they've been taught. But again, it's just one layer approach of what you should do to be successful. But we have to realize that a lot of people that are telling you how to be successful or telling you how to maneuver in your life, they may have not been doing it for themselves. And so when I talk about having a baseline approach or having certain perspectives, when you're on an island by yourself, a lot of times you're taking perspectives from all different aspects of life. You may have heard it from 3 different people over here. You may have read a book. You may have been able to see this particular movie. And it's not saying that those particular areas are controlling your mind to make you feel this particular way. No. But you're being able to use these aspects to form your thoughts and how you want to move and what shapes up for your life. See, a lot of people only go based on what others tell them or this one thing that they've seen to have worked, but the person that is taking this path over here, they're not you. And you're not even realizing that this person over here may need certain attributes that you have, and they may want to find that in their lives to make them feel more happy. You're just seeing the outside perspective. You're just seeing the glamour and the results at the end, but you're not realizing that it looks good for them now, but they were struggling through the whole process. And because they missed on loving themselves through the process, that now their result feels like nothing. To the outside world, it feels good. They could be going to these conferences, going to these award shows or whatever, and being on stage and be like, hey, I'm happy to get my reward, but they could feel miserable on the inside. And that's because the whole time they're just going to this one particular path and thinking in this one perspective that everybody else thought about versus actually going with their gut and how they felt. Because even in the same light, as we're trying to achieve things and trying to figure out what we want for our lives, I feel that from a faith standpoint, I firmly believe that God is going to make whatever is for you, but there can be different paths and routes that we may take because he ultimately gives us the decision to figure out how we want to get there. It's just like a tunnel. Like if you have to where there's 3 tunnels here and you're trying to figure out which route you want to take, one could be longer, one could be the wrong route, one could be shorter. But at the end of the day, you're taking the route that you feel is best for you based on your perspectives and what you know about yourself. But if you're going to take it based on what there's other people have told you over here, now that you can't utilize certain things that they provided you to be able to help better your path, but at the same time, you never know that this person could be steering you fully the wrong way. But if you don't have any aspect of you that you truly value and that is helping you to think beyond what everybody else is telling you, then you're not even going to understand how to be able to make decisions in the proper way. So when you're on the island by yourself, you're not always listening to what everybody's telling you or having this particular outside noise. You're not even looking at it as a way to have everyone else shape your perspectives. It's based on you taking in all these different things to come to a conclusion of how you feel. And that's why you see that when it comes to being able to balance your emotions, being able to be outspoken and find value, a lot of people are missing that. You know why? Because their value and everything about them is based on the validation that they've gotten from others and based on these few comments or whatever that other individuals are giving them. But they don't feel that within themselves, mentally or within their spirit and their heart. Another thing, you express yourself out loud. See, a lot of times when we're talking about specific life situations, processing our emotions, a lot of individuals shy away from that. They're thinking based on the perspective that they have, nobody's going to be able to relate to them. No one's going to hear them out. But we have to realize as well that a lot of people don't take the time to even express their own emotions. So how could they be able to understand ours? Especially for men, like I'm a man where over time, I've pushed myself to be open to crying in situations, go to therapy, be able to have open conversations with my boys. If it's a situation where it's a relationship, whatever. Like, I don't mind talking about these things amongst the people that I'm around. And they can even attest that, hey, DeMarcus has been willing to do that, or he's created spaces for us to do that. And a lot of times for men, we can shy away from doing that because it's this toughness or this ego that we're trying to fulfill. And something that's wrong that a lot of men do is they'll push that on to women a lot, because mentally they're thinking, oh, well, women are just the only ones that can process emotions, or they're the only ones that can feel emotions in this particular way because they're naturally born with that. But as men, we've got to get away from that. That's an excuse. And also too, by us just taking the emotions and always throwing it on women, we're not only doing them a disservice, but we're wearing them down, because anytime we have any type of issues that we're going through, we're automatically throwing it on them. But what about when they have things that they're going through? They want somebody that that can listen to them as well. They want somebody that they can help to process their emotions also. So being able to speak up to things out loud is only going to help you to become more confident and to be able to boost your self-esteem. Because not only are you speaking of it from a perspective of, hey, I'm going through something, you're talking about the highlights. And you're being able to speak on things in real time, to where when you're dealing with those particular areas of your life, people can feel that energy. Even when you're feeling down, like, at least based on you going through that situation, when you get back to square one, your positive realm, then people are able to say, okay, well, DeMarcus, he was down, and then somehow he was able to find that shift. How did that happen? Now I can actually speak to it and walk through what I'm going through in life. But more importantly, it's going to help me to feel as if I was able to fight through adversity. I was able to deal with that particular situation. But when you just hide everything, when you're not expressive about, what's going on, when you just reserve it for certain type of environments or people, or whenever it just feels right for you to talk out loud now, because now is the day you want to express your emotions, and any other time you don't, that's wrong, because you're not being fair to yourself, and you're not being fair to those individuals around you that are willing to help, that are willing to try to figure out what they can do to step in for support. And see, on the contrary, one thing we have to realize is that just because people are open to expressing themselves out loud doesn't mean that they need solutions. When we come from a multifaceted perspective, and oftentimes on islands by ourselves, we're more so going to look at different perspectives to understand how we can get to that conclusion, or ways in which we can utilize different people in our lives to form that conclusion or find that solution. But some people, because they're so, again, linear focused, and they only have one perspective, they're always looking to it from a solution standpoint. Oh man, DeMarcus, he's always high energy, and then today something's off. So him talking to me, there's got to be something wrong. He must be in a really down bad position, so he needs to do this, and that. No. Sometimes people have to be able to express themselves out loud to be able to kind of knock some sense into them. And that's why, as a multifaceted individual, you're probably someone that talks to yourself a lot. Why? Because even times where things may not be going well, you're holding yourself accountable, right? I can sit here and be mad at the world if I'm not at a particular weight that I want to be or whatever, but if I'm really taking time to myself and talking to myself in a way where I'm being real with me, then I'm able to do that in a way where I can actually understand it, versus somebody else trying to find a solution, trying to tell me what exercises or whatever I need to do to lose weight. I'm already going to know that, but it's just a point about me being real. And people have to realize that everybody isn't coming to you for solutions. Sometimes people just want to be heard. Some people just want to express themselves out loud, so they don't have to worry about all the negativity and stuff that comes along with dealing with things later. Just listen to people.